Good evening and welcome to your evening news bulletin with Television Tonga News. In the headlines, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince officially commissioned the MV Nilvakai this afternoon. PSA's allegation against the Honourable Prime Minister is a contempt of court, and the first case of German measles known as rubella reported here in Tonga. These and more stories together with news from around the region, latest sports news and the weather forecast to follow later on in the bulletin. Now for the news in details, I'm Kalolaine Tonglava Paletua with the news for tonight. His Royal Highness Crown Prince Tubotoa Ulkalala has officially commissioned the Friendly Islands shipping agency's newly purchased vessel, the MV Nilvakai. The official name of the vessel was given by His Majesty King Tubo VI to be named as the MV Nilvakai. The vessel was officially commissioned in a special program held at the Tuimata Moana Wharf, which was attended by government leaders and many guests. Linda Filiai was at Tuimata Moana Wharf and filed this report.
The guest of honor at the program, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Tubotoa Ulkalala, cutting the ribbon to mark the commissioning of the MV Nilvakai. His Royal Highness led the invited guests to inspect the vessel. Also present at the occasion was Her Royal Highness the Crown Princess Sinai Takala. The Honourable Prime Minister Lord Tuivavano, Deputy Prime Minister Sami Vaipolo, and Ministers of the Crown also attend the special program. During the ceremony, the Minister of Public Enterprises, Ve'a Varata, represented the shareholder by delivering a speech. In his remark, he praised the good work carried out by Friendly Island Shipping Agency and their initiative to purchase the vessel.
MV Nilvakai would help our domestic needs as well as potentially assist with exporting our agricultural produce to neighbouring Pacific countries. As Minister of Public Enterprises, we are supportive of FISA, and we look forward to better financial performance, and more importantly, that this ship will help FISA better serve the people of Tonga.
Meanwhile, speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the Chief Executive Officer of FISA, Parauta Polavi, says the MV Nilvakai will be operated by Captain Devita Ilangana with 12 crew members.
We look forward to serving the people of Tonga as we have done over the past few years in providing a safe, efficient and friendly shipping service that will help our country move forward.
In the vote of thanks from the chairman of FISA Board of Directors, Tapuvakai Panuve, he thanks their Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Crown Princess for attending the special occasion. Attending the program was the Honourable Minister of Commerce, Tourism and Labour, Dr. Viliami Latu, Honourable Minister of Police, Prison and Fire Services, Sosifatu Tafaiva, Australian High Commissioner His Excellency Brett Eltham, Japanese Ambassador, Dr. Kazushika Hamuro, and other guests. The MV Nilvakai was known before as MT St. Teresa, owned by Choice Shipping, a local agent for Vanuatu company Pacific Royal Shipping Group. The vessel can carry shiploads up to 500 tons. The estimated cost for purchasing the vessel is 1.3 million per anga. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
The allegations made against the Honourable Prime Minister Lord Tuivavano is a contempt of court. The Government of Tonga is currently working on the recommendations made by the Public Service Association or PSA for the Prime Minister Lord Tuivavano to voluntarily resign from his post. This is according to the Honourable Minister of Justice, William Clive Edwards, in an exclusive interview on Radio and Television Tonga. Here's Kali Sitionuku with the details.
This is government's move after information was released on Radio New Zealand International stating that the Secretary of the PSA, Mele Amanaki, alleged the Prime Minister for the unlawful payment of $18 million to the Tonga State. Charges have been made against the issues and there was no evidence. Minister of Finance at the time was giving evidence at one of the trial and he was supported, also witnessed by his colleague and advised by officials in his ministry to perform the payment to the Tonga State according to agreement, for it is legal. That's what the court did. But why is these issues raised that it was illegal? Now the information will be given to the Office of the Attorney General or the Crown Law Office to decide if they want to charge Mele for contempt of court. This move aims to mislead the public. The Justice Minister says the allegation made against the Prime Minister is a political stance because they are demanding the Prime Minister to step down or resign from his post. There are other issues raised by Mele that lead to hatred. I went overseas to get the information released. This is a political motive to shame the Prime Minister. Filetsevele was targeted like this, but he's a good man. He was taking in people's initiative for the democratic reforms, and this is the same innovative to remove the Prime Minister. They tried before on the vote of no confidence, and they failed. They've given out information as an attack of the Prime Minister. This issue has been thrown out from Magistrate Court after not having sufficient evidence regarding this case. This comes after a Member of Parliament for Tongatapu Constituency Number 1, Aklis Bohiva Charge, Lord Duvano, Princess Pilolevu Tuita, Tonga Set and William Clive Edwards for the same allegation that Mele Amanaki from PSA has told Radio New Zealand International. The MP for Tongatapu Number 1 Constituency also appealed before the Supreme Court, which was also declined.
It is important for the public to be cautious in order to prevent themselves from suffering from German measles known as the rubella. This call from the Ministry of Health after they recorded the first case of German measles or the rubella found in Tonga. We'll join Whanonga Veikoso with that story.
A Deputy Chief Medical Officer from Waiora Hospital's Public Health, Dr. Ofa Tukia, emphasized this to Radio and Television Tonga this morning. She says it is important for the public to be aware of the infectious disease because it is a virus affecting the human body with no cure for this disease. The important thing people should know is that measles is caused by a virus and there is no cure for it but to prevent. To be on the safe side, people need to take Benadols and consume a lot of water and to rest and stay home, which will help avoid others getting the disease. When measles get worse, it can cause other diseases or brain disease, which affects most young children. The Chief Medical Officer says that a patient is currently suffering from German measles or the rubella. We've got positive result of a patient suffering brain disease and German measles, and lately many locals has been seeking doctors' advice. Meantime, Waiora Hospital is currently awaiting medical results from New Zealand on measles cases to test if they are positive. For Television Tonga News, I'm Whanonga Veikoso.
The Convention to Eliminate All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or known as CEDAW, was top list on the agenda of a week-long consultation workshop on human rights held in Nuku'alofa. This is the first national consultation workshop on human rights, which aimed at reviewing Tonga's progress on human rights issues and also how the country is advocating the issue. We'll join Sinla Do with the details.
In an interview with the political advisor for Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, or PIFS, Alfred Soakai, he says there are plans for an international consultation on CEDAW.
One major issue that came through is the Convention for removing all forms of discrimination against women, CEDAW. A lot of discussion on that with regards to land rights, succession, and it was decided to hold a national consultation on CEDAW, and we hope to be back in a couple of months to facilitate that. I think it's positive that the government is wanting to talk about it. I think the only way that the government will move forward is by simply talking about all the issues, about culture, about land, about succession.
The consultation had two objectives outlined by the facilitators, which they hoped to achieve, which was the core documents and a human rights institution.
We started yesterday working on the core document. It's a document that's used as a reporting mechanism and just as a stock-taking mechanism for each country, which is submitted to the United Nations. And we started it yesterday, and we hope to finalize that within the next couple of months. The other initiative was some sort of mechanism to move our meeting forward, and that is the meeting decided to establish a National Human Rights Committee, which is made up of both government and non-government organizations to coordinate the development of human rights in Tonga.
Mr. Soakai says Tonga is in a satisfactory condition with regards to advocating human rights here in the kingdom. The political advisor for PIFS says Tonga has already signed 2 international conventions, including the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Participating in the consultation workshop were representatives from all sectors, including members of parliaments, government and non-government representatives, amongst others. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sinila Atu.
It is vital to equally divide the attention on all the issues that are taught to students in all Catholic schools in Tonga. These issues include the government syllabus, the church's strong faith, and the Tongan culture. This was the recommendation from 2 visiting education experts from the Australia Catholic University, the AZU, Professors Charles Burford and Anne Benjamin. Anasil Falekaono reports.
The visiting professors are currently in Kuala Lumpur to conduct an educational review program of all syllabus taught in Catholic schools. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, Professor Burford says that the current standards of how the syllabus are taught in the schools is in a satisfactory condition. However, it still needs improvement.
As education changes, we have to look at what we need to change. And of course the issue here, and we must compliment the Catholic education system here, that they are concerned and they want to know basically where they need to go into the future. And of course it's a very big issue because in secondary education in Tonga, the Catholic education system is the largest. And therefore the concern to the country in terms of its development and where it goes forward rests in some cases very much with the other mission schools, but with the Catholic schools.
Meanwhile, Professor Anne Benjamin says that all curriculum of the Catholic schools should be adjusted.
We constantly need to look at teaching and ways of improving it, at the curriculum. Is the curriculum a syllabus that best meets the needs of the students? Obviously, curriculum needs to change over the years because the circumstances and society changes. So any review would look at that, and we will be looking at that and looking at the structures.
Also speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the principal of Api for All College says that this review is timely for Api for All College. He adds that the school has been facing a lot of challenges in the past years, struggling to teach the students the best syllabus. Meanwhile, the professors are expected to carry out similar review programs for Catholic schools in the island of Whavao. Australia's Catholic Education Office is funding this review program.
And the Tonga Red Cross Society is continuing its drive in educating district and town officers on how to prepare for any natural disasters. A one-day workshop for the district and town officers is being held at the Tonga Red Cross. We'll join Salamo Fulivai with the details.
This one-day workshop aims at enhancing these community leaders' knowledge on the correct preparation methods for any disaster. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News was the program manager for the Disaster Management Program, Evai Pomanat Uholoaki says, it is vital for representatives from the communities to learn more of the steps need to be taken during disaster preparedness and management. This program is to improve our partnership with district town offices in disaster preparation and response. Tonga Red Cross Society also wish to present the tropical cyclone Ian response operations in Hawaii as a learning tool for everyone in the workshop, especially district and town offices. Meanwhile, the district officer of Kolofo'o Whaiwatu Ifua says that this program helps them a lot. We are moving in to work together with the Red Cross and to see what areas we can provide assistance in. It is not limited to natural disasters only, but there are man-made disasters such as a house engulfed in flames and tornadoes, amongst other things. Attending the program was a representative from the Tonga Meteorological Office to talk more about the incoming season, cyclone and rainfall outlook, and others. Radio and Television Tonga News understands that a similar workshop will be held next week to the islands, including Va'ava'o, Hawaii and Ewa. This one-day workshop is funded by the Australian Red Cross. From Tonga Red Cross for Television Tonga News, I'm Salama Fuliwai.
And that's the local scene. Pacific is up next after this break.